Can't concentrate now.
Oh, well, he's all stressed because the lady from MTV's here. She's going to film his little face.
So
the things he said in the week, he was so worried. He's got worried about the spot on his head. That won't come out. Just that, you got your best side.
He's on that side. That's all right.
All right. Yeah, the camera's out. Look, he's getting nervous now. Okay, Karl, ignore the camera. Okay, just ignore the camera. Okay. Now, me and Steve have done our research for you, and we've got two amazing things to tell you. What should I tell them first, about the baby or the...
Well, they're
crab?
both equally fascinating, so you choose.
I'll tell you the crab thing first, right? Steve actually saw this thing in The Guardian the week about our research thing, and then we looked it up, we looked into it on Friday, and it is incredible. Right, listen to this. There's a thing in a bay in New England, right, where it's like the biggest... they make silicon chips and stuff for computers, right? And because of the data protection thing, after they've done them, because they have to destroy the plates, right, well, the information's sort of put onto them, but there's still flakes of silicon. They sort of grind it down straight away, and some of the flakes got into the bay, okay, but some of the information's still on even the slight granules of silicon. Anyway, gets in the water, and silicon is rather like a carbon derivative. They reckon if there'd been life on another planet and it wasn't carbon-based, it'd be silicon-based, because that's simple sugars and it's just COH and that, and it can work with silicon, right? Anyway, the crabs have been taken up, it's on the water, and they looked out on the beach, and over years the crabs have started sort of putting themselves in formations, like geometric format, and they couldn't work out why they were doing this. And when they put them in the experiment, they sort of like chopped them up, and they found they'd taken on silicon, and it had sort of got into their brain, and they were downloading information. They picked up little things, because it's just chemical, like electrical impulses had got information off the silicon chip, and they were interfacing it. But this is the amazing thing. One bloke sort of thought of this, and he thought, well, if it's a simple computer, the brain, if it's just a simple sort of electrical thing, then maybe there's sort of, we could get it down. So what they did is they made a thing called a biointerface, and they put it into the crab's brain, just a really simple brain, so it's measured on Mangata, right? And it got impulses from it, and they were getting like computer readers, just flashes of like symbols and geometric things right on this screen to read the crab's brain, and it was stuff like fragments of a.
What made them do this in the first place?
Because they saw the crabs behaving differently. They were behaving differently to each other. They were just like, they were, intelligent, and they were sort of solving problems and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, when they downloaded the thing, it was like they found one of the secretary's names where it had been on the silicon chip, where it was just like a flash of a computer screen. But the most amazing thing is, they downloaded a memory, right? It was like a snapshot where it had been burnt onto the retina of the crab, just a snapshot of something, and it was like a picture of the beach, like a couple of years ago, right? And they also did, incredible, it was like just a digital black and white sort of thing, so they could see what the crab had seen.
Amazing.
Jeez.
Amazing.
So
intelligent crabs.
What are they doing with them now, then?
Super brain.
Well, they think this is the upshot. They think they could use it as spy crabs, because they could get these crabs. Also, the other thing is, as generations went on, right? So they put a crab in the sea or something, right? Lots of crabs in, and then as generations went on, a newborn crab, they downloaded the memory, and it had the memories of its great all together. It had every memory that any crab had been related to it beforehand, because it passed it on. It just passed it on.
So not even ones that had been eating the silicon stuff.
Yeah, no.
These are just like ones that have had kids.
Yeah,
and they've got like,
and they know so you'd know everything. Your everything right the way back.
So would that work if we ate silicon?
Well, I suppose
possibly.
So what are they going to?
Well, they can use them for all sorts of things, though. I mean, that's what's incredible. I mean, I don't know how you train it particularly. I don't know, it'd be quite tricky to train, but I'm assuming if they can do it that way, then presumably they can give it like certain silicon information, which they can then plant in it, if you like, within its sort of food.
Also, if you could get them onto enemy beaches, you'd have like 1,000 digital cameras just
sneaking around. You could get like Osama bin Laden or someone. They don't
understand the information they've got.
No, they don't know they're doing it. They just download them.
So it's not like you could torture them and they wouldn't be able to sort of give you the information. because they wouldn't know what information they had because they're just.
But the first crab they downloaded, they just kept seeing the same picture of a big crab feeding it, which they
really,
yeah,
wow, that's what like its mother crab or something.
Yeah, it was memories of it as a child.
But they're not in colour, presumably. Because
no, it's all in black and white. It's just a digital camera because it's just they don't see in black and white, so it's just like a I don't know. I think it's burnt onto the retina or something. And the only one that they kept were the ones they saw a lot of the time.
Wow.
I mean, in a way, some of the educating Ricky I've got for you today is on the similar lines.
Right.
Oh, you've got to be impressed by that. You've got to be impressed by that.
That's pretty good. I mean, I'm interested to see, what they do.
What they do with what the crab developments are.
But yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, just digest that information because that's not even the most impressive one we found.
I think it is.
I suppose it's pretty impressive, but the next one's maybe more shocking.
Okay, so that's the crabs that you can download their memories.
But what about other animals that are in the sea, in that same sea, eating the stuff? Have they tested them yet?
I don't know. I think they just took it on because their biology, something to do with. I presume they can take up minerals, and I don't know why. I don't know. But anyway, next one. It's just on the horizons. A bodybuilder, yeah.
This is freaky.
Married another bodybuilder,
yeah.
Right, and they're pregnant, and they had these tests, and the baby was very large, but it was causing it pain, right, in the thing, right, and after this
is extreme. It's almost bizarre, and like
after the female woke up pregnant after 7 months, and the baby
was walking around.
No, it forced its way out of the vagina.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it forced its way out, and it was
because it almost had like super strength, like,
and it was pulling her along by the umbilical cord, and and it was a stone.
Extraordinary. That's freaky. I mean, you're talking about freaky stuff.
That's made up.
What?
It wasn't pulling her along.
Well, no, it was pretty. She could feel it.
Exactly. And it was. Do you know what I mean? Like, just went and just sort of squeezed its way
got out because it was ready, because all the hormones.
Because it thought it was ready.
Oh God!
Imagine that. Just waking up and finding that in the bottom of the bed. Freak out, wouldn't it? Because you'd think it was a nightmare initially.
And it had hair and everything, didn't it?
Yeah, because all the hormones, like a hair, almost like a beard.
There was something in the week about, you've got test tube babies and that now, haven't you? But they've managed to do it. I only caught half
I knew he'd be more impressed by the crabs than that. He doesn't care if it's human.
No, I am. I'm telling you though, that there was something. I only caught half the story because I was busy. But there's something about babies being able to be born without having any people involved. Or something. It's like putting them in an oven or something, and it's like a cake. And after a certain amount of time, it's ready.
I think you can buy those in Argos for kids at Christmas.
It's my first baby kit.
Yeah. There's Play-Doh, I think, that they can buy.
Yeah. So what do you think of that then?
The baby one.
Yeah.
I prefer the crab one.
Yeah.
But the baby thing's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
So it was bigger than like the average.
Both made up. We made those up.
Yeah, they're both rubbish.
They're both
they are
bullshit.
both rubbish. Despite the fact they're both rubbish.
Yeah.
They're interesting.
We made those up. Both those stupid stories up.
Yeah.
Imagine downloading a crab's memories and seeing its mum feeding it as a child.
Both utter rubbish.
I had trouble.
Yeah.
I know I was going to have trouble with pushed its way out of the vagina.
Yeah.
I practiced that about 30 times yesterday with Stephen. I was going, I'm not going to be able to do it, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to say that.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed?
A little bit. I mean, the baby one's a bit sort of out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't really having that one.
No.
But the crab one,
See, now, what's interesting, I think, is a useful experiment, Karl. I don't know what it's taught you about yourself, but would you say that that's revealed to you a certain thing? I don't know, maybe that you're a bit gullible. I mean, what I'm saying is maybe you shouldn't accept or swallow your hook, line and sinker everything you read on the web. Do you not think maybe a valuable lesson
I
there?
feel bad because I said to Steve, he won't be annoyed that we conned him, he'd be annoyed that they're actually not true. You'd love that crab thing to be true, wouldn't you?
it wouldn't surprise me if it did happen one day.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and then who's laughing?
And it's in the break when I said about the crabs, you went, well, I'm keeping them then.
Yeah.
Yeah. A crash course for the ravers, eh? That's what this show is, isn't it, Karl? Crash course for the ravers. They tune and they go, wow, that's so cool. I wish I was like Karl Pilkington.
You reckon?
Yeah, definitely. You've got to read your mum's clues out, didn't you?
Yeah,
These are just for fun only. This is Karl's mum. She listened one week and now she sends him a little example of Rockbusters every week.
She's got, what did she send? This group would go well with your Christmas dinner.
Cranberries?
Yeah. They make a few good cupboards.
They make a few good cupboards.
Yeah.
The carpenters.
Carpenters. I was thinking of EMF.
What else?
I was thinking B&Q. The B&Qs.
This group thinks of lots of things.
This group thinks of lots of things.
Yeah.
Go on.
Imagination. I think they're the best ones.
Yeah,
Well, if they're the best ones, let's hear the others.
obviously we want the worst ones then.
Here's one more. She'd really like Blackpool.
She'd really like Blackpool. She'd really like Blackpool.
Fairground attraction. Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
right, so there's...
Does she write anything else in the letter, or does she just send them like on a scrawled on the back of, I don't know, a till receipt?
She did with the first one.
Quick
Now
save.
it's just the Rockbusters.
Right.
Really?
She doesn't bother asking how you are, or
Well, I speak to her in a week on the
Right.
phone, so it doesn't.
what kind of conversations would you have then with your
What do
mum?
you
sort of
say?
Stuff.
Do you moan
Just,
about how overworked you are and stuff to her?
they're always surprised when I'm getting in late, and that it's like, what have you done today? Well, I've just got in from work, and it's like 8:30 at night.
A lot of people get home at 8:30, Carl. Next.
Just saying, how's the flat going? I was
Yeah.
asking my dad some DIY tips the other day. Usual sort of stuff you talk with your mum and dad, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about the Bisons with them. I was
With what?
watching. Did you watch the Mammals in the week?
Oh, I missed
David
it.
Attenborough.
No.
I was thinking, actually, right, all this MTV stuff, if there's one reason why I'd like to do it,
Yeah.
is I was watching Attenborough, the Mammals programme. I reckon I could do something like that.
Right. Right.
And just have like me, instead of Attenborough, like a young sort of fresh person,
Yeah.
watching like certain animals and saying, do we need these? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, God! What do you call it? Death on Earth?
Well, just,
That's amazing! Do
Yeah.
we need these?
And,
No, 'cause there's loads of
and the
stuff.
audience at home would vote. Would there be some kind of
yeah,
telephone
like a
vote?
vote out system.
Oh,
But the
that-
thing is like,
yeah.
it's something interesting that Attenborough was saying the other night on
Do we need these?
on Jonathan Ross's show, on his telly show, right? He was saying, he said you could take all the humans off the earth and it would carry on, but take like some animals off it, mammals and that, you got problems on your hands. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like the question is, do we need these? Is that part of the big thing?
Right.
Like jellyfish,
Yeah.
we've talked about jellyfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which mammals in particular were
You talked about it on
watching
Zoe
that you
Ball
thought-
show, haven't you?
Hey?
Which mammals were you thinking we don't need when you watched the show the other night? Any in particular that you thought they don't need them? They're not of interest.
Well, I like whales, but I don't know what they do. And they're taking up quite a lot of room.
Sure.
But stuff like,
yeah.
but like jellyfish, I looked into because
Yeah.
I
well,
was
know you
talking
don't
about them, and they were saying they've got no eyes, no heart. There's something like 97% water.
Yeah.
They're blind, and they do about 33 miles a day.
Right.
So it's like, do we need them? Could we clear them out?
Yeah.
Yeah. What, a big net.
And that would be the programme. What? Right, we'll get rid of them. Next week we'll be looking at
Rhinos.
I think it's genius. Honestly, I think it's genius. And like going along, sort of like picking up sea anemones and going and just lobbing them into the sea.
Well, what do you think about MTV doing that? And then I just, in between the bits,
Play music videos?
I play music
That
related
relates
to
to
fish, so I could play like Fish,
Yeah.
that rock guy, or the
Rock-
animals,
Rock lobster.
yeah, or what else could
This
I get
could
in
run
there?
and run.
What other songs have got animals in them? The
Well,
monkeys, could play the monkeys.
Yeah, there's about 1 million, so let's not start this.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
So do we need this?
So MTV
Carpet.
flies you around the world
And
to
you-
the most incredible exotic locations. You sort of climb up a tree or whatever, and next to, I don't know what lives up a tree, some kind of rare parrot. You say, look
Sloth.
at that, it's colourful,
Sloth.
it's interesting.
Oh, you like sloths, don't you?
No, they just live up trees. But I'd say, do we need them?
Why?
Well, what do they do?
What do you mean? What do they do? What do you want from an animal? Carpentry. What
Well,
do you want?
I don't like scorpions, right?
Right.
But then I found out they look after those monkey things.
They're not monkeys, they're
Whatever.
lizards.
Well, all right, yeah, them lizards. They look after the lizards. So there's a reason.
But do you need the lizard? Could be your
Well,
next
yeah,
question.
because the local people made shoes out of them.
But not when the scorpion protected them, they didn't.
All right, we don't need them then.
Okay. So ultimately, would anyone decide? I mean, do the animals kind of get a chance to mount a case for their survival? I mean, is there maybe someone that comes into their corner and sort of defends them?
I'd have like a David Attenborough type character who says,
Right.
"Well, they do this," and I'll go, "Yeah, but do we need that doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does an animal need to do in order for you to feel that it sort of gets a chance of life? I mean, like a pet, like an animal, like a dog maybe, or a cat. I mean, they give a certain affection to its owner. Is that a valid reason to survive? Not particularly for you.
Not really.
No, okay.
I mean, saying that though, blind people use dogs, so they are useful.
So dogs are useful.
Farmers
Saint Bernards,
use
they
dogs.
often save people, don't they, in
Yeah.
snowy weather?
Cats. I'd have to think about it.
Okay.
Keep the mice down.
Yeah, but you got rent to kill.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is something that will affect the world.
Right. I think you'll find everything does.
Except Karl. I'm not sure what effect he's having on the world.
I tell you what, though, Steve. Right? Did you watch the mammals?
I didn't see the mammals.
They had bison on it.
Right.
The weirdest looking things you've ever seen.
Yeah.
They've really
Again, you're on dangerous ground here, Karl.
but they've really got it's like decide what you want to look like. It's just a mismatch of stuff. It's got a really big airy head,
Yeah.
Unlike you.
sort of bald at the back,
Right.
sort of
It sounds
thinner.
like someone you went to school with. I was watching a bit of TV last night, Rick.
Go on.
I had a little thought for lads that might be out tonight, you know, on the Raz.
Yeah.
Maybe they get a little bit of success with the ladies.
Yeah.
This was something that struck me as I was watching it. A lot of gentlemen, you know, when they're engaged in, you know, an act of, you know, relations with a lady, they like to sort of, you know, think of an image or something that will prevent them from, you know. And you catch my drift. We're men in the world.
Grandmother's funeral is the cliche, isn't it?
Exactly. And I'll tell you what I think it should be. Rick Waller jogging. I was watching Fit Club. I have
know.
never seen anything
I
like
liked it when
Rick.
Harvey lost it with him.
Oh man alive. I mean, I know I slag him off, but I don't really like him either. I just think he comes across appallingly. And I think, you know,
When he just walked away in that mid conversation talking to that bloke, they're doing it for his
I
good,
know.
really.
But he's like 31 stone.
I think he lost a bit. I think he's 29 now. Don't exaggerate, Steve. You make him sound like a fat.
But you know, I mean, yeah.
That was close, wasn't it?
When having sex, you know, apparently thinking of Rick Waller helps.
Oh, don't look what's happened.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the reverse effect.
Yeah.
Oh no, me and Karl.
No, if you're with a lady, apparently
Yeah.
that works.
I know. He's out now, isn't he? He's out.
Did he walk out?
I think so. I think that's it. From what I can.
No. I think next week they kick him out because I read something about they get rid of him next week because of his attitude. And first time I read it, I thought he'd actually ate someone's hat. But it was
You lost me.
Got rid of him because of the attitude. Oh,
Everything you think of now is puns. You can't get puns out of your head, can you?
Oh, Karl, you're great. Look at his little face.
He's so
That
pleased. How
is
long have you been
good.
working on that? How long have
You've
you
got to
been working on
love. You've got to give him that. That
No,
was
that
a
is-
real
no,
joke.
it is
Look at
genius.
his face. He knew it was funny. It was meant to be funny. He said it to be funny, and it was. Well done. Well done.
I'm just interested. I just want to dissect it because it was brilliant, and I'm wondering how long have you been working on it?
About 2 weeks.
No, it's good stuff. It was worth the wait.
I woke up this morning. Yeah.
Feeling fine.
It's not a blues song. And I turned my phone on, and it was from Karl, and it went, "Forget it, I've made my mind up." And I thought,
Wow.
what is that? And I phoned
Forget
him.
it. I've made my
Yeah,
mind.
I went, "Karl, what is it?" He went, "Oh, no, it's about the text I sent you last night." I went, "Well, what was it? I just got this text." He went, I was just wondering, I was thinking last night. He said, supposing you had to have your hands removed,
Sure.
right? And the doctor said, well, you can either have them stay like that with stumps, or I can sew feet there. What would you have? And I was bleary-eyed, and I went, the stumps? He went, yeah. I went, all right? He went, yeah.
And then what was his follow-up text to that?
And then I got the text, it was obviously before it, and it went, and it was like quite serious. What would you do if surgeon's not doing your hands? Would you have stumps or the feet? Right? Now, the way, when I said he's made his mind up, and I went, the stumps, he went, yeah. I think secretly he decided on the feet, but was too embarrassed to tell me.
There's a little bit of what would you do? because it.
But why did you think of this? Why did you think of this?
Girlfriend's
this come
away,
about?
right?
Yeah, no, that's not why you start thinking bizarre
I'll
surgery
tell you now,
devices.
right? I'll let you into my little mind, right? Last night, I had some beans on toast, right? She was away,
It's good already.
She was away, so you had some beans on toast. She went wild.
Yeah.
right? Now I was stood up. I live on on a high street, right? So I'm washing up. I'm looking out the window. First thing that had me attention is I can look into other people's flats, right?
Yeah.
And it was weird how all these different lives were going on. I was watching them, and everybody had the telly on and was watching Volcano, right, which was on last night.
Right.
And I thought, that's weird, right? I can see them all watching it. And it was like a little Chinese lad who was dancing around in some underpants.
Yeah.
And then there's a little old woman who lives downstairs who was reading a book, and she's always reading a book every night. And it's like, I have a better life than her. And then there's like some sort of bouncer who's always getting ready to go out late at night with all the black on. He looks like a bouncer. So I was watching all this life going on. I thought,
Did you witness a murder while you were doing this?
Yeah.
it was like that sort of Sliver film where that bloke had loads of tellies watching people's lives. So that was going on in my mind. And then I was washing up, and I picked up the plate, and I thought, it's amazing, isn't it? The human body, the way you can just sort of, I want to pick that up, and you do.
Yes.
And the way your hands work, right?
Yeah.
You've got 5 little digits, but it's just the right amount to do what you've got to do, right? So I'm cleaning the plate.
Sorry, Carl. Stop. It's just the right amount. Might be one of the most genius things I've ever heard said. I would love David Attenborough to phone you up and say, Carl, how do I word this about the evolution of the mammalian front limb? Just go, we'll just say it's the right amount.
But it is.
It is.
One
Of course
extra
it is.
would get in the way.
Yeah.
And one less would just make it that little bit more tricky when picking up a bit of a slippery dish.
Sure, or buying gloves. Yeah.
A slippery dish.
So then I was thinking, imagine like going to the doctors and they're saying, yeah, everything's all right, your heart's good and everything, but
Your art's good, what, your Larry's, or...
your heart, you're in good form and whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, it's good news. I had Giano in earlier. He's not looking good.
Yeah. I had Fat Swaller.
But you're all right. But your hands need to come off.
Right. Blimey.
But
That's bad. Like, I'd get a second opinion initially.
But a better good news, I've got a nice pair of feet I can sort you out with.
Yeah.
And he puts them on, and then I was thinking, right, first of all, washing up, what would that be like? But
Steve.
that'd be
It's
tricky.
right. Yeah.
And then the second thing was, it'd probably ruin the sort of the shape of your jumper.
Because you have to keep putting the feet through there. Yeah.
And then I thought, but I could still cycle in
Okay.
to work.
You could run in.
Well, that's the thing.
You'd be really
Yeah.
fast.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought I could still cycle because I could balance, and then I thought, but the only thing is I probably couldn't pull the brakes because of the little short things.
Yeah.
And then, like you, I thought, but then again, you're running in half the time. So that's what was going on in last night.
Right.
That's what I was thinking about.
Sure.
Did you
How
have
long did this take?
Well, how long does it take to wash up?
Right. Because I imagine you just being there for, like, all night.
Probably 25 minutes.
How long did the little Chinese fella dance for in his pants?
He's always doing it. Last night he was at it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend never sits in the same room as him. She's always sat in the bedroom.
She's going, you dance in pants again, I go in next
Yeah.
door.
Well, she was in the bedroom. She's always in the bedroom, sat on the floor, on the mobile phone.
Right.
All
Really?
the time, yeah. It's weird how people's lives are just like, it is like that Groundhog Day thing. It's like, he's jumping about in his underpants. The old woman sat there reading a book.
Yeah.
And that's what got me thinking about my life.
Do you think
I thought,
she ever
Are
goes...
you sure she's not dead? Every time you look down there, she's just flicking through it. She's just reading this book. The pages never turn. She never seems to finish it. She never moves from her chair.
Are you sure the Chinese
Her
girl's
cats
going...
are dead around her.
I'm going into next door again. That little
Yeah,
round-headed
the
fella's
smell.
looking in. He's looking in at me. The bouncer goes, "Don't worry, love, I'll go and beat him
That's-
up." But he's
that's
always
true.
getting ready.
That's true.
They see you staring at him, washing up, going, "I could have feet here," and they get
Yeah.
scared. The old woman's dead. Oh,
Carl,
dear.
can you tell us roughly which neighbourhood you live in, so that we know?
It's central.
Central, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, imagine if that little... Was he a Chinese fella, did you say?
Yeah.
Imagine if he was listening now. I'd love him to call in and explain his actions.
Well, he might be on some other radio station talking about a lad who's always washing up and looking at his hands in a mysterious way.
Yeah.
So,
But do we know this doctor that would go, "Well, all right, Carl, you can either leave them as stumps or I've got a little pair of feet." Why? I mean, I told Jane this, and Jane went, Is that the only choice? You could say, "Can I have some dead man's hands?" Have you got any? Where do you get the feet from? Where do you get the feet from? Can I have? What would you rather have then? Human feet or monkey paws?
Well, I mean, that wasn't an option last night. If the doctors said...
No, it wasn't an option last night, but don't forget, it's in your head, Karl. This didn't happen.
No, but I'm just saying, at the time, that's all the doctor had to offer.
But, it's your head. You can go anywhere. No, it wasn't a real doctor to offer. It's in your head. You can go anywhere. You're not trapped.
Yeah, but if you can do anything, then you'd say we'll sort us out some other hands.
Fair point.
Okay, what's the next one? What's the educating Ricky?
I don't know... See, like I say, I was looking around, and there's stuff that is interesting. Right, I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about...
What's the point?
About a lad who 8 years old,
yeah.
but he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of that.
Is that what his mum said?
So,
what do you mean? I don't know if I can get anything out of that. You don't need to.
No, it's just that.
Where did you read that?
That was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It was on the internet.
Well, I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confused the computer. And then,
Carl, you are...
No,
honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and it came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that? Why is that? And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, on his mum's nipple. And it was saying, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y just to confuse the computer. Like, the computer go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, yeah. Last week, I was walking home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week. Let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, No. I went, why not? He went, well, it'd be confusing because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
They do, though, don't they?
No, but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm just
a title for the story.
No. It's just what would you do? Right?
What do you mean? What would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area. Right?
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid who's breastfeeding at 8.
Imagine it like this, right?
Right. No, so, Karl, what are you asking me about this spurious story you saw on the internet?
I saw it on the internet. There's an 8-year-old lad. He likes his mum's milk.
Yeah.
And it's saying, is this right? Should it?
No, it's not.
On?
But what
do you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right.
No.
I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So,
oh God,
what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it.
Yeah.
And he, what? So what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws. I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what would you say? If you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? what are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the public?
I'm just saying, say if you live next door to this woman.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old. He's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish. And he goes, all right, son. She whops one out. And he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I assume.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Karl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, all right then, put it in a bowl first.
Genius.
And you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right? And you do that when you're a baby, and everything's all right, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah.
You'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like you don't see. It got me thinking about things you don't see, and you don't see.
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see like an old man having a Twix. You never.
Oh!
So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right.
You don't see an old
No,
man
I
having a
know
Twix.
that's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right? They've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with Werther's.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
So they've got their Werther's, right?
Yeah.
So,
Look at him. You think he's
it.
giving a lecture at Oxford?
it's not going anywhere.
No, go on. Sorry. Go on.
I'm just saying.
Right.
You grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't look right, so he's having.
It doesn't look right.
So.
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, I have a Werther's original.
Oh, I think it cuts, though, before he throws it back in his face and goes, get me a Twix.